Hello friends, welcome back in the channel of Clinical Care Insight. Today we will talk about the reproductive system. It's a overview basically, okay? And under this reproductive system, what things we will discuss? It's today's lecture outline. First we will discuss about the introduction, okay? Then we will define the meaning of sexual dimorphism, okay? Then developmental period and the events, okay, the reproductive events. Then about the male reproductive system as well as the female reproductive system, okay. And then we will deal with some of the questions, okay. The main force for today's video is how to write effectively so that you can get a maximum mark in your examination, okay. Fine, is it okay? You are ready? Okay. So what do you know about the reproduction? First of all, can anyone define what is the mean by the reproduction?
It differentiates us from non-living things.
It differentiate living things from non-living things. That's the characteristics. I am talking about the definition. What do you mean by the reproduction? No idea? Simple. Reproduction means enhancing the progeny, okay. Reproduction is a process by which individuals produce similar to themselves another kind of offspring. Simple. It's a kind of producing another type of offspring which may be identical or which may be non-identical. Identical in terms of, like, you know, the lower organisms like bacteria, they produce the same type of organism, okay. So they are called as clones, okay. They are called as clones, okay. Clones basically, genetically identical, we can say the offspring, that's called the clone. Understanding? Now, but in our case, the reproduction product, basically we can say the offspring, is different from their father and mother, okay. They are not exact copy of their father and their mother. They show the variation. As a character wise, as a color wise, as a height wise, okay. They show the variation, okay. But the characters is like matching from the parents, because we are inherited the things from our parents, okay. The DNA which we have, half from our mother side and half from our father side, okay. So this is called basically the reproduction. Once again, reproduction is a process by which individuals produce offspring similar or different to them. Understanding? No problem? Okay. We are performing the sexual reproduction. Okay. It means there is a need of at least the two person, okay. There is a need for the two person. That's called the mating. Understanding? Now, the meaning of sexual dimorphism. The meaning of sexual dimorphism is when individuals is differentiated externally, when the person is differentiated externally, they are called as sexual dimorphism. Means, like, suppose there is one girl and boy. You can differentiate them.
Yes.
Okay. How? You can differentiate them how? Physically. Very good. Externally, basically we can say, externally you are able to differentiate. This phenomenon is called sexual dimorphism. Let me repeat it once again. When you differentiate male and females externally, okay, this phenomenon is called sexual dimorphism. Is it clear? Understanding? That's called the sexual dimorphism, okay. Now, we have some of the characters, that's called the secondary sexual character. Can you cite any example of secondary sexual character? Secondary sexual characteristics. Anyone? No? Okay. Yeah. Someone saying something? Yeah, anyone, for male, for female, anyone. Secondary sexual characteristics. Any example? No idea. Really? No idea? Simple. You develop a mustache. Okay? In the girls, there is a widening of their hip. Okay? Loudness of the voice. These all are what? Secondary sexual characteristics. Write down. It can be asked in the MCQ. Write down. The characters which distinguish or differentiate, the character which differentiate or distinguish between male and female, they are called as secondary sexual characteristics. They are called as secondary sexual characteristics. Okay, understanding? Now, and put one hyphen and just write down. It is due to the androgen hormone. It is due to the androgen hormone. Okay. It is due to the androgen. You know androgen hormone? Don't know androgen? Simply understand, androgen is a hormone, okay, secreted by, in the case of male, they are secreted mainly by the testis. Okay, do you heard about the testosterone? A male sex hormone, man. You know it? Okay, testosterone is basically a one type of androgen. Testosterone is basically a one type of androgen. It's a principal androgen. Okay, it's a principal androgen. Understanding? This hormone will release in a higher amount, we can say, during your puberty time. That's why after the puberty, a female have, like we can say, the menstrual cycle. Okay, female have menstrual cycles, and for the male they develop their mustache. Okay, widening of their chest, the shoulder muscles, they are widened. Okay, there is a loudness in the voice, understanding? These and the hair growth, okay, axillary hair growth, okay, and as well as your genital hair growth. Okay, these all are due to the androgen effect. Androgen is secreted by, it can be asked in MCQ, it is secreted by testes as well as adrenal cortex. Write down. Androgen is secreted by testes and adrenal gland. Okay, and adrenal gland. In a small amount, like the sebaceous gland in the skin also secreted, but it's not necessary to write. Okay, then write another thing. In the case of female, it is secreted by the adrenal gland as well as the ovaries. Okay, clear? Shall we move ahead?
Ovaries also.
Ovaries. Okay, now see here. We will discuss the developmental period. Basically, developmental period are those periods, okay, in which a young ones develops in the mother womb, okay, and after the mother womb, okay, till their death. All this time span, all the life span, they are called as developmental period. For ease of study, there is a two division. The first is called prenatal. Did you heard it? Prenatal period. Okay, and second one is called postnatal period. Okay, understanding? Prenatal period means it's a period when you are in mother's womb, inside the mother uterus. Understanding? That's why it is also called as neonatal. It's also called as pre-embryonic life. It's also called the pre-embryonic life. Okay, postnatal period means after the birth till the death. This time span is called as postnatal period. Okay, also known as post-embryonic period, also known as post-embryonic period. Pre-embryonic period, post-embryonic period. Clear? Understanding? Okay, shall we move ahead? Okay, we are doing the revision. I'm just brushing up your previous concept. I'm doing nothing new. Okay, I'm just trying to brushing up your previous stored knowledge. Okay, the concepts. Now, once we define the developmental period, we will look into some of the major reproductive events. Some of the major reproductive events. Major reproductive events. Now, you tell me, what are the major reproductive events? Can anyone tell? Major reproductive events. See, there is a one boy and one girl. Okay, they crossed their puberty time. Okay, in the females there is a status of the which cycle? Menstrual cycle. The first menstrual cycle is called? The first time menstrual cycles come, this is called what? No. This is called menarche. Write down. It can be asked in the MCQ. Write down. The first, do you know it? Very good. Then why you not open your mouth? If you know it something, then say it loudly, confidentially. Okay. Right? The first menstrual cycle is called menarche. MEN. Very good. Menarche. Very good. Now, let's move ahead. And when in the female, the menstrual cycle is ceased, that is termed as? Very good. That you know. You have knowledge, man. I know. You have knowledge. Okay, so shall we move ahead? We are discussing the major reproductive event. I am saying, okay, once a girl passes the first their menstrual, we can say the period, okay, first period completed, then the girls, or we can say a boy is capable to produce a young ones, okay, but it's not legal, okay, it's not legal. Girls have at least how many years for marriage? How many? 21, and for boys? 21. Okay, whatever. Just understanding, when they attain the puberty, they are capable, okay? They are capable to produce a child. Girls are able to bear a child, and boys are able to produce a mature what? Sperm. Is it okay? Now, then this producing of sperm in the case of male and producing of ova, or we can say egg in the case of female, they are termed. Producing of sperm is called as, production of sperm is called as? Very good. And formation of egg or ova is called as? Oogenesis. That's easy, no? Okay. Means, and both are termed as gametogenesis. Both are termed as gametogenesis. The first event is your gametogenesis. The first event is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis. Okay, understanding? Gametogenesis in the case of male what? Spermatogenesis. Genesis. In the case of female, it's a oogenesis. We will talk it later that the gametogenesis and spermatogenesis, they have marked difference. Okay. Now, once gametogenesis is done, okay, and as I said, they are capable to produce a child. But how child will produce? How child will produce? Intercourse. You are saying the intercourse, okay? Means you are saying the fertilization. Is it okay? It's a fertilization. So before the fertilizations, a male have to send their precious cell, that's their sperm. The sperm is precious, no? Do you really like considering the sperm is a precious? No. Why are you laughing? Okay, leave it. Now, male have to send their sperm into the female vagina. Okay. This sending process is called insemination. Yeah. So the second event is insemination. Second is insemination. Understanding? Clear? Now, once they inseminate, okay, and you know, like the female vagina is highly acidic. Is it correct? Acidic. Okay, means sperm, and you know the sperm have tail. Your sperm is carrying the tail. Okay, sperm is carrying the tail. Understanding? Now, this tail help the sperm to travel in the vaginal, or we can say the uterus part. Understanding? But these part are the acidic. These part are acidic. Okay. So there are many, you know, how many sperm is ejaculated in one, how many sperm is coming in one ejaculation? How many approx, roughly idea? 300 million. Okay, 300 million. Sperm, when a sperm coming outside, it's called ejaculation. It's called the ejaculation. Okay, don't need to write, no need to write, you understanding? Very good. Now, these 300 sperms, they are going to the female vagina. Okay, but the female vagina is acidic. Yeah, it's acidic. So sperm have to fight those acidic area, those harsh condition, unfavorable condition. So some of the sperms they will die. Some of the sperm they will die. And इतना ही नहीं, इसके बाद in the female womb, or we can say the female vagina, there are macrophages. Macrophages is phagocytic cells. They engulf the sperm. They engulf the sperm. Okay, so most of the sperm they are eaten by the macrophages. Macrophages is one of the immune cell, who are phagocytic, who are engulfing. They are eating the cellular debris, microbes. Okay, so the females macrophage, they don't identify. Okay, it's a sperm, I don't have to eat it. They think it's a foreign particles. Okay, so they just go and eat it. Okay, so some of the fortunate sperm who are blessed, okay, they goes to the where? In the fallopian tube area. Okay, and after the 14th day, that's called the ovulation. I'm not going fast. Are you able to understand? Understanding all? Okay, during the 14th day of menstrual cycle, there is a release of secondary oocyte. There is a release of secondary oocyte. Now this secondary oocyte and sperm, they are going to meet. They are going to meet. Okay, in which area of fallopian tube? Ampulla. Write down. Fertilization occurs in ampulla of fallopian tube. In ampulla of fallopian tube. Understanding? Now comes again. Now this meeting, the egg meeting and sperm meeting, this is called as the meeting of sperm and egg. They are called as fertilization. Man, don't know what is fertilization? Fusion. I'm using the meeting word. Apply your intelligence, no? Okay, fusion of egg and sperm, they are called as fertilization. Okay, they are called as fertilization. So the next event will be fertilization. Okay, write down. Fertilization. Okay, now you know that after the fertilization, the egg is also a haploid in nature. Do you know the haploid, diploid? Don't know? Diploid means, see, this is your egg and this is your sperm. Okay, Haploid means it contains the half chromosome. How many pairs of chromosome do you have? 46. In pairs how many? 23. Okay, so 23 is carrying by the eggs and 23 is carried by the sperm. Okay, that's why they are called as haploid, H. And after the fertilization, the normal human chromosome will restored. The normal number of chromosome will restored. That's your 46. That's why I'm saying initially that half of the chromosome you inherited from your parent, your father, okay, and half of the chromosome you inherited from your mother. Okay, so the one of the significance of the fertilization is that they restore the normal chromosomal number of human species. Okay, normal chromosomal number of human species. Understanding? Clear. Now, after the fertilization, there is a formation of diploid structure that's called the zygote. That's called the zygote. Okay, clear? Write down zygote formation. Okay, zygote formation. Now, this zygote, they have to increase their number, their size. In order to develop a fetus, they have to undergo a cell division. Isn't it? Okay, they have to go a cell division. So they go 2 to 4, 4 to 8, okay, 8 to 16, 16 to 64, okay, and they are termed, they are named proper. We have the name for every, we will see after a few minutes that there is stages. Okay, there is a stages. Understanding? Now, the zygote undergo cell division. Are you understanding? Really? Yes. Okay. Which color it is? It is yellow. Yeah. So they go the cell division. Okay, cell division. Now, which stage of cell division zygote is implanted in female endometrial lining of uterus? Do you heard about blastocyst? You heard? No heard? You heard it? Blastocyst? Very good. So the next step is blastocyst formation. Blastocyst formation. Okay? Blastocyst is basically one of the cluster of cell, okay, which is differentiated, which is internally they are differentiated and they are implanted. Blastocyst formation written. See, you know the zygote. This is your zygote. Okay, this is your zygote. Okay, now it will go the cell division 2 to 4. Okay, now it will go to 4 to 8. Okay, and these are the pattern of their division. These are the pattern of the division. So, and each pattern have their own specific name. Each have their own specific name. Understand? In the blastocyst level, they need to attach. They need to attach. Why they need to attach? Use your common intelligence. No, they become heavy. They need to attach because they need the nutrition. Their number goes higher because initially they are a diploid only. Okay, there is only two cells is present in the zygote, but now they are more in number. Okay, so they need nutrition, and they will take nutrition from where? Mother. Okay, वो तो अपने माता से ही nutrition लेंगे. Understanding? Now, so for nutrition purpose and for better development, okay, controlled we can say development, there is need for the attachment. Okay, and this attachment is called as implantation. This is called as implantation. You do know the simple in simple terms. Implantation means you are attaching something. You are attaching something. Here the something is blastocyst. So blastocyst got attached. These stories are till now in the fallopian tube. Are you understanding? Really, you understanding? Or shall I draw a diagram? Understanding? No? Okay. So blastocyst formation, they are going to attach, and the next process is called as implantation. Next process is called as, write down, implantation. Implantation. Okay? Clear? Now, once they got implanted, okay, once they get implanted, where? In the female, which layer of uterus? Endometrium, the inner layer, innermost layer, okay? Okay, let me quickly show you. See. Okay, and there's a one ligament. Suppose this is uterus. Okay, this is not exact anatomical diagram. I'm just roughly drawing it. Okay, now sperm will come from here. Okay, now once it is start fighting, and they will go here. Which area? This is ampullary area. Okay, and egg during the secondary, during the ovulation, the oocytes, the eggs, they will come. Okay, and here there is a meeting between the sperm. Okay, between the sperm and egg. Understanding? Okay, now they undergo subsequential division, and they got implanted. Okay, the implantation in which stage? Blastocyst stage. Implantation in the blastocyst stage. And the first lining of uterus is called endometrium. Then one muscular involuntary smooth muscle, that's called the myometrium. Very good. And the outer layer of the uterus is called as perimetrium. Okay, clear? Understanding? Any problem? No? Very good. Let's move ahead. Now, once they got implanted, okay, then they will start more division. That's called basically the embryogenesis. That's called the embryogenesis. Write down. That's called the embryogenesis. Formation of embryo. Okay. And once this process start, okay, after some time, there is a need for one strong attachment, one intimate attachment. Okay, that's called placenta. Do you heard about the placenta? Because they start developing, okay, and then there's a need for one physical attachment. Okay, half up from the mother side, half up from the developing fetus side, and then baby will start developing here. Okay, this is basically an embryo, and this is the placenta. Half from the mother side, half from the fetus side. Developing fetus side, not a father side, man. Not father side, don't confuse. Okay, fetus side. That's called the placenta. One intimate connection. One intimate connection. Now the significance of formation of this placenta is that through this placenta, baby will get nutrition. Okay, they will excrete out their excretory material. Understanding? They will take oxygen from the placenta. Are you able to understand? Understanding? Okay. And one of the hallmark of this process is that there are, in the developing baby, there is a stem cells. Are you in classroom? Understanding? You man, understanding? Yeah. So baby will give the stem cells. Baby will give the stem cells, and during the pregnancy, this stem cell will help the females to overcome their problems. Okay. So pregnancy is like a blessing for the woman. It's a blessing for the woman. Are you understanding? Okay. Now, so once the embryogenesis start, then there is a need for the placentation. There is a need for the placentation. Write down. Placentation. Placentation is basically a formation of one physical link that's called the placenta. I am sorry for my handwriting. Okay. It's a like interminate connection. Okay, it's a connection. Now, once placentation over, okay, then these embryo, they will form 3 germ layer. Do you heard about the ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm? No. Like these are the germ layers by which your organs, your cells, your tissue will form. Understanding? Not understanding? See, after this embryogenesis or placentation, there will be a formation of germ layers. Okay. Suppose germ layers is simply a disc arrangement. It's like a disc arrangement. Okay. The inner one, it is called as ectoderm, endoderm, very good. It's called the endoderm. Okay. Then the outer one is called as ectoderm. Man, this is endoderm, no. This is endoderm. This is your mesoderm. Okay. And this is your ectoderm. You came across in your book when you seen that the epithelial cells is derived from ectoderm, origin. Okay. See, these layers, these discs, they are the one from where the organs are originated. Okay. Some of the cells, some of the organs, they are ectoderm in origin, means they are derived from this ectodermal layer of the, we can say, the embryo. Are you able to understand? Heart is mesodermal in origin. Do you studied it? Means heart will form from the mesodermal layer. Understanding? This process of formation of the germinal layer, they are called as gastration. They are called as gastration. Write down. Formation of germinal layers. These are called the germinal layers. Collectively, they are called the germinal layer. Germinal layer. Okay. Write down. The formation of germinal layer is called as gastrulation. Okay. Once this germinal layer will form, okay, then from the germinal layer there is a formation of organ, and this formation of organ is simply termed as organogenesis. They are called as organogenesis. Now where I have to write it? It's like, okay, they are called as organogenesis. Okay, organogenesis. And once the baby organs will formed, okay, fully formed fetus will give one kind of reflex or a message. Fully formed fetus and placenta, they will give some kind of intracellular signaling, okay, by the hormones, okay, and there is a release of one birth hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin will work on the myometrium, and there will be a strong contraction, and baby will come out from the mother's womb. This process is called parturition. Write down. That process is called parturition. Understanding? Have any doubt? Once again, I've just quickly recap it. The major reproductive events, the first is a gametogenesis, okay? In the male, it's a spermatogenesis, formation of a sperm, and in the case of female, it is a oogenesis, okay? Open your mouth, you can revise it. Oogenesis, okay? Then once gametogenesis over, there will be a insemination. There will be a insemination. By insemination, a male give the sperm, okay, and sperm and egg will meet. That's termed as a fertilization. Okay, this fertilization will result into the formation of diploid structure. That's called the zygote. Understanding? Now, this zygote will go the subsequential cell division, okay, for increasing their number and differentiation, okay. Then there is a formation of blastocyst. This blastocyst got attached initially, okay, and after this attachment is called implantation, basically, okay. And once the implantation done, then there will be a embryo formation, okay, that's called the embryogenesis. A premature fetus is called embryo, okay. So there is embryogenesis. Now once the embryo is formed, there is a need for a strong physical relationship, okay. Half contribution from the female, half contribution from the developing fetus. That is called the placenta, and the process is called placentation. Clear? Now once the placentation done, there will be a formation of 3 germinal layers, okay, by which the organs will develop. That's called the gastrulation. Now once gastrulation is done, then what happened? Then there will be a organ formation, organogenesis. And once the organs is well developed, okay, there is a fully developed fetus and placenta. They will give one signal for the what? Parturition. For the parturition. Okay, understood? Clear? Any doubt? You have any doubt? No? Shall we move ahead? Yeah. Now, once we defined introduction, the sexual dimorphism, developmental period, major reproductive event, now we will go with the male reproductive system. Okay? Male reproductive system. Now, can anybody tell me which part comes in the male reproductive system? Tell me. Yeah, testis, very good. And epididymis, yeah. What? Penis, yeah. Then scrotum, yeah. Why you are not saying me in systematic way? Sperm, very good. Yeah, it's also a part. Nice answer. Yeah, so we are discussing the reproductive parts in males, okay. So the reproductive parts in the males, they are divided into the 2 parts. Are you following? That they are in the 2 parts. The first part is called primary sex organ. Okay, if you don't know, then write it. Primary sex organ, and rest of the organ, they are simply called as accessory organs. Other organs which are present, they are called as simply accessory organs. Okay, they are called as accessory organs. Understanding? Okay. In the primary sex organ, testis will come. Okay, is it correct? Yeah. Okay, so in the primary sex organ, there is a testis. Okay, do you heard about the gonads? Anyone heard gonads? The primary sex organ, they are also called as gonads. Write down. They are also called as gonads. In the case of male, the gonads is Testis, very good. In the case of female, the gonads is ovary, very good. Yeah, you are correct, man. Laugh, you are correct. Okay. So the primary sex organ is testis. Okay, and the accessory sex organ, just name them. Penis, that's external genitalia, very good. Then what else? Scrotum, yeah. Then fast. Sperm, they are produced in testis. Okay. So next part. Tell fast. You have glands, 2 glands. You have glands in reproductive parts. In the male, there is a presence of glands, 2 glands. Can you name them? Prostate gland and one more? Seminal vesicles. Is it right? Seminal vesicles. So you have 2 glands. The first one is your prostate gland. Okay. And next one is your seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles. Do you have the other parts? Do you have other parts? Yeah, tell man. Epididymis, okay, and ejaculatory duct and urethra, yeah, then spermatic cord, okay, then that much understanding. So these are your secondary, we can say, organ, secondary sexual organ. Understanding? Have any doubt? No? Clear? Now in the testis there is a formation of sperm. Okay, in the testis there is a formation of sperm, and that process is called as spermatogenesis. That process is called as spermatogenesis. Clear? Any doubt? No? Understanding? Now, how this spermatogenesis happen? Can anyone know? Anybody? How sperm will form? Do you know? You don't know? You are carrying this precious cell inside your body and you don't know how to form it. I know it's not formed voluntary. Okay. Joke apart. Now come. Testes have seminiferous tubules. Do you know it? Okay. Let me draw the diagram of the testis. Okay. See. Testes are basically oval in shape. Okay, or walnut almond. Walnut. It's a walnut shape or it's a ovoid in shape. Oval in shape. How many testes do you have? 2. 1. 2. Testis is a paired organ, man. It's a paired organ. Okay. Now, move ahead. What we are discussing? Yeah, we are discussing the testes, isn't it? Okay. Now, testes have the seminiferous tubules. Okay. Testes have the seminiferous tubules. Testes have seminiferous tubules. How many number do you know the number? Seminiferous tubules? It's a 300. Okay, 300 in one lobule. There is a 300 seminiferous tubules, and they are separated by a septum. They are separated by one septum. They are separated by your one septum. In your question set, there is a one question. That question is कि write about the covering of testis. Write the covering of testis. So give your attention here first of all. Yeah. So this is your testis, okay, and this is your scrotum. Okay, in the scrotum there is a testis, no? Okay, there is a testis. Now, you know that these seminiferous tubules, they contain what? They contain the two types of cell. Can you name them quickly? Seminiferous tubules have two types of the cell. Don't know? You don't know? You know about nurse cell or Sertoli cell? Don't know? Then how you know the spermatogenesis? Simply the formation of the sperm is called as spermatogenesis. No problem. You are laughing on yourself. That's a great thing, no? That's a great thing. There are few who can laugh about themselves. We are just, our tendency is we are laughing toward the another person, laughing to others, okay? But this is a golden time when you are laughing on yourself, okay? Now, we are discussing basically what? We are discussing the testicular cells. There are two types of testicular cells. The first cell is called a germ cell, the actual sperm producing cell. Write down, germ cell, or they are also called as spermogonium. Okay, they are called a germ cell or spermogonium. You just check the spelling with your textbook, okay? Germ cell or spermogonium. Now, second cell which help this cell to produce the mature sperm is the nurse cell, or also called as Sertoli cell. Write down. Sertoli cell or nurse cell, or they are called as sustentacular cell. They are called as sustentacular cell. Okay? Clear? Understanding? Sertoli cell, nurse cell or sustentacular cell. You will check the spelling, okay, after next time. You just understand there are two types of cell in the testis, basically the germ cell and one is Sertoli cell. This is a, we can say, premature sperm cell. This is basically a premature sperm cell. There is a need for further development. There is a need for the further development. Now, I have a question, as usual. I have a question that, do you heard about the FSH hormone? What is the first, tell me, full form of FSH? No problem. Yeah. Follicular stimulating hormone, which is secreted by, see, you have hypothalamus. You have hypothalamus? Have or not? Are you, okay, tell me, are you really confident you have hypothalamus? Yes, you have. You have hypothalamus. This boy know. Yeah. So your hypothalamus, and in the hypothalamus there is attachment of one more, we can say, the endocrine gland. Can you name them? In endocrine gland which is attached to the hypothalamus. No, don't worry. This is called the, okay, identify by this diagram. What? I am asking the name and you are laughing. It's called man. Yeah, I know, but I don't have good drawing capability, but it's not a scrotum. It's your anterior pituitary gland. Basically, it's the whole pituitary gland. Okay, the gland which is present anteriorly, they are known as, no problem. They are known as anterior pituitary gland, and the gland which is present posteriorly, they are known as posterior pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary gland, they secrete most of the hormones, and posterior pituitary gland, they secrete only 2 hormones. Can you name them? Yeah, man, you are correct. Right. You guys know? You man know it? No. Just listen carefully. Can you name them again? Posterior pituitary hormones. Oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Okay. Now, anterior pituitary secrete many hormones. One of them are
follicle stimulating hormone
and
luteinizing
hormones. Very good. LH. Basically, hypothalamus secrete. They give the message for formation of the what? Formation of the hypothalamus send message in the form of GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormones. Understanding? They secrete basically the GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormone. Is it correct? Now, anterior pituitary, by taking this message, hypothalamus is like a command organ for endocrine system. Most of the endocrine system, they are regulated by all the endocrine functions are regulated by your hypothalamus. That's one of the function of hypothalamus. There are many functions, okay? There are many functions, and you will gonna surprise, their weight is like the nail of your, this little fingernail weight. And they are controlling almost all the function of your body. Chota packet, bada dhamaka. Okay, so it's a hypothalamus. Now, they give the message in the form of GnRH. Okay, they form the message in the form of GnRH. Okay, these GnRH, they come to the anterior pituitary. They secrete FSH. They secrete the FSH and LH. Okay, they secrete the LH. Write down this chart. That's very important. First, you understand. FSH will work on this germ cell. They work on the germ cell to proliferate, to replicate, or we can say the proliferate. They work. LH will work on one other cell. Initially I told you that there is a secretion of androgen. Androgen is secreted in the case of male from which organ? Androgen. By which organ? In the case of male. Quickly. Okay, once again. Now, my question is, androgen is secreted by which organ or which cell? Testis. Okay, in the testis, in these areas, there is a presence of interstitial cell, or called leading cell. In this area, there is a presence of one other cell, that's called the interstitial cell or leading cell. Write down. Leading cell or interstitial cell. Leading cell. Okay, it's also called an interstitial cell. This is the cell who is going to secrete the androgen, or we can say the male sex hormone, testosterone. Understanding? Androgen is basically a group of hormone. Androgen is basically a group of hormone, and one of them are testosterone. Testosterone is synthesized by these leading cell under the effect of LH. Okay, so this LH, in the case of male, they are known as ICSH. Do you heard about it? Interstitial cell stimulating hormone, ICSH. Okay, LH. In the case of male, they are known as ICSH. Interstitial cell stimulating hormone. It will stimulate the leading cell and tell them to secrete testosterone. Okay, tell them to secrete the testosterone. This testosterone will work on the Sertoli cell, okay, and it also work on many other parts of our body by which we develop the secondary sexual characteristics, as we discussed previously. Okay, so now what happened? FSH work here, this work here, they start proliferating, okay, and then from the spermatogonium there is a formation of 4 haploid spermatozoa. There is a formation of 4 haploid spermatozoa. It's a haploid. How many? 4. This process is called spermatogenesis, and in them there are many intermediate, okay, we call it primary spermatocyte, secondary. You studied it, I think. You studied? No. Once again go and revise it. Okay, that's called the spermatogenesis. Understood? Clear? Shall I say once again? Yeah, okay. Now, as I said that in the testis there is presence of seminal, we can say seminiferous tubules, and in the seminiferous tubules there is 1 to 3 highly coiled cells are present, okay, and these cells basically contain the germ cell, also called spermatogonium, and Sertoli cell, also called as nurse cell, also called as sustentacular cells. This germ cell is actual sperm producing cell, okay. Now during the puberty time, the hypothalamus, they give message to anterior pituitary in the form of GnRH to secrete the FSH and LH. FSH will work on the germ cell to proliferation, okay, proliferation, maturation, growth. These are the stages of the spermatogenesis. Understanding? Okay. Now, this LH, in the case of male, they are known as ICSH, interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Okay. Now, this ICSH, they work on the Leydig cell, or also known as interstitial cell, to secrete the testosterone. Okay. Now, these testosterone, they will work on the Sertoli cell, okay, and Sertoli cell secrete many things. They first provide the nutrition to the sperms, okay, they first provide to the nutrition of the sperm, and if you see the closely, then you will see that this is a layer of what? Sertoli cell, okay, and the sperms head, okay, their head are embedded, the sperms head are embedded in the Sertoli cell, okay, means they are taking the nutrition. Once they crosses the primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, okay, then spermatid, are you able to understand? Spermatid, then there is a release of spermatid. For here, this process is called as spermination. This process is called as spermiation. Release of the spermatid from the Sertoli cell. Now, the one function, as I told, it provides the nutrition to the sperm. Okay. Second thing is it secretes the one hormone that's called the androgen binding hormone. Okay. They also secrete inhibin. See, hypothalamus, how our hypothalamus will know? Okay, now I have to stop it. There's a plenty of sperm is formed, I have to stop it. How they will know? They will know by their synthesis, by their production. They produce as I told, they produce the inhibin. This inhibin will give the negative feedback to the GnRH. Now, hypothalamus, there are plenty of sperm is already formed. Now you stop the secretion of the FSH. Okay? That's how the endocrine system is regulated. You have any question, ma'am? Understanding? Okay, fine. Shall we move ahead? Yeah, move ahead. Now, as we discussed the spermatogenesis, now it's time to just highlight quickly about the layer of scrotum, the layer of testis. Okay, this is in your question, this is in your blueprint question. See, your testis is covered by how many layers? Testis is covered by, nahi malum, no problem. Testis is covered by the 3 layers. Write down, testis is covered by the 3 layers. You know it? Very good. Testis is covered by the 3 layers. Quickly. Written. See here, the outer layer of testis is called tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea. Tunica, tunica. It's not a tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea is second layer. It's a tunica vasculosa. Tunica vaginalis, tunica vaginalis. Tunica vaginalis. Tunica vaginalis. It's a tunica vaginalis. Okay, understanding? Now, the second layer, the middle layer, is called as tunica albuginea. Very good. The second layer is called tunica albuginea, and the innermost layer is called as tunica vasculosa. Tunica vasculosa. Tunica vasculosa, innermost layer. Vasculosa. Middle layer, tunica albuginea. Now see, but in the exam you don't write like this. Okay, how you will write? No, that's the main motive for today class. That's the main motive for, that's why you are here. Okay, that's the main motive. You should start first with the introduction, as you are doing. Okay, introduction. Okay. Everywhere introduction is needed. Now, in the introduction, what things you will going to write in this question? Write the layer of testis. First you mention testis is the primary sexual organ in male. Okay. Then you start writing, that's the introductory part. Okay. Now, then you start writing the covering. These are the headings. As I am saying, these are the headings. Covering of testis. Okay. Then you will go with the characteristics of layer of testis, not a testis. The question is about the name of testicular layers. Okay, testis histology basically they are asking. Okay, so you are just first you write introduction, then covering of the testis, then characteristics of testis layers. These are the heading under which you have to describe this. Now, in the first introductory part, you will write about some story about the testis. That testis is the primary sex organ. It's the gonads. It's the primary sex organ or a gonads in the male. Testes are ovoid in the shape, ovoid body, located and suspended in the scrotum. Okay, located and suspended in the scrotum. Okay, sac-like structure, scrotum. That's the introductory part, over. Now, come to the covering of the testis. So once you retain the introduction, you just go with the diagram. Okay, you just go with the diagram. Okay, write it in a more beautiful manner. I just like omit most of the parts. Okay, there are the parts: the red testis, epididymis, okay, vas deferens, vas efferent, okay, then they will go into ejaculatory duct. There's a pathways of sperm, then they will go into the urethra. Understanding? No. So you have to mention all these things. Write the parts names in one side. Okay. After introduction, you just draw this diagram. Okay, and start writing about the covering of the testis. Covering of the testis, you just first write the first layer of the testis. That's called the tunica vaginalis. Okay, tunica vaginalis. What things you will write in tunica vaginalis? Just give the small hyphen and write down it is the outermost layer. Okay, you have to make a story, but your story should be relevant. Your story should be relevant. Okay, it's within a confined to your syllabus. Okay, confined to your study. You're not going to write okay, ooh la la. Understanding? No. These are called the prompt writing. Okay, because they don't have so much time to check each and each things. Like, understanding? No. So they are just giving this. Okay. Once you write the covering of the testis, first layer is tunica vaginalis. Okay, it is the outermost layer. And what next things you will write it out? It is a matter of the connective tissue. It is matter of the connective tissue. Under the covering of the testis you are writing. Okay. Okay, and this is rich in blood supply. Rich in blood vessels. Okay. Blood. Sorry. This is made up of. Okay, I'm just sorry. It's the outermost layer. Tunica vaginalis is the outermost layer. Okay. About the tunica vaginalis, it is outermost covering. Okay, and it is a bilayer in nature. It's a bilayer in nature. The outermost is called the parietal layer, and innermost is called visceral layer. Okay. Okay. Quickly, fast. Understanding? Okay. So in the covering, you just write down about the 3 layers only. Okay, and in the characteristics, you just write down these things. You need more explanation, I will give you the notes after finishing the class. Okay, you just go with that. Okay, now that's one questions we dealt. Okay, and just easy to remember name. No, yeah, remember VAV by the mnemonics VAV, VAV. Simple. Okay, and don't confuse the covering of testis with the covering of a scrotum. Okay, are you understanding what I am saying? Okay, do you know the covering of the scrotum? No, just write down one mnemonics. Write down one mnemonics. The very good mnemonics where I written. I was surprised. This very easy one. I think I written somewhere. Oh yeah, right. The covering of this is your scrotum. Okay, covering of scrotum. Write the trick. The trick is, wait man. The trick is, some dear Englishman, write like this. Write this like this. Some dear Englishman called it testis. Okay, called it testis. Okay, these are the mnemonics for the testis. Okay, see, S, the first letter. Okay, the first covering of the testis is skin. Sorry, testis, it's the scrotum. Okay, the outermost layer is skin, scrotum. I'm talking about the covering of your scrotum. Okay, first is skin, second is D for detrusor muscle. Yeah, you have any question? No? The second is detrusor muscle. Detrusor muscle. Okay, detrusor muscle. Okay, the another layer E stand for external spermatic fascia. External spermatic fascia. Fascia means covering. Okay, write down. Another C stand for cremaster muscle. C stand for cremaster muscle. Cremaster muscle. Okay, now I stand for internal spermatic fascia. Write down. I stand for internal spermatic fascia. Okay, good. Now T stand for T stands for testis. Now testis, testis is count. Okay, testis count. So T stands for testis. Now just we will revise it quickly. Yeah, last layer T stand for testis. Okay, it's not a covering, it's an organ which is present inside the scrotum. No, these all are the, we can say these all structures, they are present in the scrotum. How? See here. It's a covering. These all are covering except the scrotum. All are the covering. All are the layers basically over the scrotum. By these layers, your scrotum is formed. Understanding? Inside the testis. See here. See, I am showing you diagram. See. Suppose this is your testis. Okay. The inner covering of the testis, it is known as innermost covering. After the testis, the first covering is what? Internal spermatic fascia. So this layer is your internal spermatic fascia. Internal spermatic fascia. Clear? Now we have the second layer. Can you name them quickly? What's the second layer? Cremaster muscle. They are cremaster muscles. Cremaster muscle. Okay. The third layer is, third layer. Third layer is, see here, no. First layer, second layer, third layer is your external spermatic fascia. This is your external spermatic fascia. Are you understanding? Really understanding? Have any doubt? No? Okay. Now After this external spermatic fascia, you have detrusor muscle. You have detrusor muscle. Shall I change the marker color? Yeah. You have the detrusor muscle. You know your testis is sometimes skewed, sometimes these are the effect of these muscles. Okay, your testis is like, it's why they are in a lower area of your body, because they are sensitive towards the temperature. They are sensitive towards temperature. What is your actual, we can say, the body temperature in degrees Celsius? How many? How much? 37 degrees Celsius roughly. Yeah. Okay. And sperm formation need below 3 degree from your actual body temperature. That's why they are situated in the lower part. It's giving strength this area to develop sperm more. Sperm is sensitive towards the temperature. Sperm is sensitive towards the temperature. Okay. That's why the tight undergarment, they are avoided. Tight undergarment, they are avoided. Why? Because your sperm is sensitive towards the temperature. Okay. Now we are where? We are taking the which muscle? Detrusor. Yeah. So this layer is your detrusor layer muscle. Okay. And last layer is skin. Simple. This is your skin. So in this question, you have to also go with like the same introduction. Okay. Now this time you give the introduction not about the testis, about the scrotum. Okay. It's highly pinkish in color. All those things. Okay. Then you will go with the covering of the testis, scrotum. You just mention all these things. Once again, revise the mnemonics of understanding the covering of scrotum is some deer. Speak. Some deer Englishman called it testis. Is it simple? S stands for skin, D stands for detrusor muscle, E stands for external spermatic fascia, C stands for cremaster muscle, I stands for internal spermatic fascia, T stands for testis. Quickly understood? Okay. Shall we move ahead? You want to study today the reproductive system, or shall we discuss it next time? Female? A male done now. That's all. Female you know. Okay? You want to study? Okay. I will not go in detail to describing because it's like review lecture. I'm just briefly describing you. Okay. What you know about the female reproductive system? Why you are happy all? What you know? External genitalia, yeah. Female reproductive system. Okay. Female reproductive system. Simple. They also are divided. Okay. They are divided into the primary sex organ and accessory organs. Okay. The primary sex organ is ovary. Okay. The primary sex organ is ovary, and the accessory organs are right. Give the name. Secondary are vagina, uterus, fallopian tube. Yeah. Cervix, very good. Cervix, then clitoris, yeah. Then, yeah. Labia minora, labia majora, all are the external genitalia. Where you are correct, yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Vestibular gland, yeah, that's the gland is present. Very good. Next. Okay, so these are some of the part of female reproductive system. Okay, now I'm just going in quickly. Okay, I'm not taking your time because it's already late, isn't it? Are you feeling bored? You want break? No? Continue? Okay. The female reproductive system, as I told, they consist of ovary and we can say this accessory organs. Okay. In the ovary, you know what things happen? Oogenesis. Oogenesis. You know that oogenesis is basically a formation of eggs. Okay. It's formation of the eggs. Okay. So it is the ovary. Okay, ovary is round in shape. They are attached with the fallopian tube, as I show you roughly. See. Okay. And here is your see, this is one diagram of female reproductive system. Okay, female reproductive system. This part is called fallopian tube. Okay, this part is called the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube. Now, I want the name of this part. Can anyone tell? This part is called the finger-like projection. They are called as ovaries. Ovaries, this is no. This part, the finger-like projection. They are called as fimbriae. They are called as fimbriae. Okay? A fimbriae. The function of this fimbriae is that they undergo, like collection. During the 14th day, when this oocyte, secondary oocyte is released, this will take, okay, and send to the next part. The next part of fallopian tube, this part, they are called as isthmus. They are called as isthmus. Okay. Then you have ampulla, the site of fertilization. Okay. Okay. Now, the closest part of the uterus is interstitial part of fallopian tube. That's the interstitial part of fallopian tube. Okay, let me quickly recap it. There is a fallopian tube. Okay, they are a fallopian tube. They are lined by the ciliated epithelium. Okay, they are lined by the ciliated epithelium. Now, this ovary, they will release the secondary oocyte during the ovulation time, in the menstrual cycle. Okay, and these fimbriae they will collect. The next part is your isthmus. Then you have ampulla, and the we can say the closest part of the fallopian tube to the uterus is your interstitial part. Understanding? Any problem? No? Now see, the ovary is attached with the uterus by a ligament that's called the ovarian ligament. Okay, but you have to write at least 4 ligament of uterus. Okay, 4 ligament of uterus. I will tell you soon. Now, this is your uterus. Okay, the uppermost part of the uterus is called fundus. The uppermost part is called the fundus. Okay, this constricted part is called as, this is body, this is called as isthmus. This is called as body. Okay, understanding? Any problem? No? Shall we move ahead? Okay, see. Now, the part of the, okay, now talked about their covering, histology, you already know it. Okay. The innermost lining of the uterus is called endometrium, middle one is called myometrium, and outer covering of the uterus is called as perimetrium. No any problem? Now, then you have this area called cervix, okay. Cervix possesses two things, internal OS and external OS, orifice, opening, okay. Internal OS and external OS, opening, okay, fine. Then you have vagina. Vagina is partially covered by one membrane, that's called the hymen. Hymen is a covering, okay. Hymen is a covering. That's all about the female reproductive part in brief, okay, in brief. But there are one question in your, there is one question in your booklet I seen, okay, that I want to discuss. You know about the oogenesis. See, ovary secrete, as your testis secrete one hormone, like androgen. Your ovary also secrete two hormones. Can you name them? Estrogen and progesterone. Very good. Estrogen and progesterone. Do you know the function of estrogen and progesterone? No? Write down. Estrogen promotes cellular proliferation and tissue growth. Simple. Like there's a wide role of estrogen. There's a wide role of estrogens. They are working in different systems. They worked on the different systems. But their primary motive is they help in the cell proliferation. Primary function is they help in the cell proliferation. Okay. Cell proliferation and tissue growth Now you know that message comes from the higher system. As in the case of testis, we've seen this hypothalamus once again, okay, attached with, tell me, attached with pituitary gland, okay. Same message comes here also in the form of GnRH, okay. Understanding? This in turn, pituitary gland in turn secrete which hormone? FSH, okay. FSH work on ovary, and ovary secrete two hormones. The first one is your estrogen, okay, and second one is your progesterone. Clear? Understood? Any problem? No? Move ahead. And the function of progesterone is it helps in the preparation of uterus for delivery, okay, and also help in the lactation, a process of feeding a child with milk, lactation. Okay, we discussed. Now, preparation of uterus. Okay. Now, question. This is all about the female reproductive system. Okay, I am not going in deep. I will not describe the oogenesis. You simply understand oogenesis is the process by which the eggs are produced. Okay, you have to read the menstrual cycles. Okay, just go with the menstrual cycle, understand it. Okay, now come to the uterus. There is one questions they are frequently asked many times about the uterus. So how you will going to write about the uterus? Your answers. Okay, that's what our motive of today is, like how to write effectively the answers. Okay, so not I am taking the long time. I'm just giving you the headings, okay, under which you have to write the contents. The first you have to go with the same thing, introduction. Introduction in anatomy, okay, you first have to go with the introduction, then you go with the definition. Now it's a question of uterus, okay, what is uterus, anatomy of the uterus, okay. I think I written the questions. Just see, they mention the part of the uterus, as I said, fundus, body, isthmus, okay. Then name the 4 ligament of the uterus. Write down the name of the ligament first of all. Write the name. The first in ovarian ligament, also called as broad ligament. Broad ligament, first type, okay. Second time, round ligament. Quickly. Yeah. Then you have uterosacral ligament. Uterosacral ligament, and last one you have your cardinal ligament. Cardinal, C-A-R-D-I-N-A-L, cardinal, C-A-R-D-I-N-A-L, cardinal ligament, okay. Okay, changes of uterus, then their ligaments, okay, anatomical landmark, okay. Then you have to write the blood supply, okay. Then you have to write their nerve supply, okay, and then clinical importance, applied anatomy, clinical importance. See, 10 marks. If this question will come into 10 marks, you have to go with all these headings. Are you understanding? The first thing is you have to give the introduction, that uterus is also known as womb, okay. It's a pear shape, Then you have to go with the definition, then shape and size, how they are looking, their measurement, clear. Then division of the uterus, means the weak parts, the parts of the uterus. Then you have to go with the structure of the uterus, draw one level diagram. You can draw one diagram, that's also enough. You can draw, but draw it clearly, okay. Yeah, in 10 marks, sometime you can go with 2. If you have time, you will go with the 2 diagrams. That's more beneficial for you, okay. But now it's not necessary to draw the 3 diagram. Just draw 2, okay. But yeah, given these headings, they are important, okay. Introduction, definition, shape and size, division of the uterus, then structure of the uterus, then changes of the uterus. Changes of the uterus, it's like, it's optional. If you want to do it. It will attract the examiner, they will give you more mark, okay. Changes of the uterus means that the uterus will change, okay, starting from, they will change in the menstrual time period, okay. Lining, endometrium become more vascular, they will go to rupture and the menstrual bleeding happen, okay. In the pregnancy time, they have to wide more. Understanding? No. In menopause time, there is another alteration in the uterus. These are called the changes of the uterus, okay. Understanding? Then you have to go with the ligaments. All those ligaments I make you right. No, all those ligaments are important. Then you have to go the anatomical landmark, means anteriorly what things are present, posteriorly, okay, anteriorly, posteriorly, then superficially and inferiorly. Okay, you have to write. Are understanding? Okay, understanding? No doubt. I will share notes with you all. Just write down. Then you have to go with the blood supply. You have to go with the blood supply. In the case of uterus, there is a uterine artery. There is a uterine artery. So you not need to worry about the blood supply. Simply uterine artery. Okay. Yeah, it is not necessary. It's for that you will get more mark. You will get more marks. Okay. And then you have to go with the nerve supply. The uterus have both the supply, remember. The anatomical, we can say the autonomic nervous system as well as the somatic nervous system. Okay. You know the myometrium is made up of a smooth muscle, and smooth muscle are involuntary muscle. They are not in your control. Means they are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. The involuntary function is controlled by your autonomic, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Just write down nerve in the nerve supply, parasympathetic, sympathetic, okay, and somatic nervous system. Understanding? In the uterus during the pregnancy time there will be a pain, severe pain, that's called the labor pain. They are induced by the somatic nerves. Okay, understanding? Repeat. Yeah. The uterus is supplied by both the innervation. The innervation of uterus is both the autonomic nervous system as well as the somatic nervous system. You know the division of autonomic nervous system. That's the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay? Because your uterus is made up of the middle layer is the myometrium, that's a smooth layer, and all the smooth layers are involuntary muscles. They are not in your control. Can you control your esophagus? No. Can you? No. That's the involuntary. Okay. That's a involuntary. So that's their autonomic function. Okay. But you know that during the labor, we can say the delivery of the baby, there's a parturition. Okay, there is a severe pain, that's called the labor pain. So this pain will be innervated by somatic nerves. Understanding? Understanding? And then their clinical importance. Clinical importance. You just mentioned in the clinical importance about the we can say the view of uterus. View of uterus. You have to know one thing, like in the case of non-pregnant women, or we can say the virgin uterus, okay, the virgin uterus, it is basically the pyriform in shape, okay, pyriform in the shape, okay, and this is flattened anterior-posteriorly. They are flattened anterior-posteriorly, okay. And then you can mention 2-3 diseases. Okay, these are the clinical importance. They are the clinical importance related with the uterus. After the ligament, there is anatomical landmark: anterior, posterior, superficial, inferior. Okay. So now to conclude the today class, we discussed about the introduction, the sexual dimorphism, meaning of sexual dimorphism, that's characteristic distinguishing the male and female. Okay. Then we discussed about the developmental period, basically the prenatal period, postnatal period, also called as pre-embryonic period or post-embryonic period. Okay. Then we discussed about the major reproductive event starting from gametogenesis till the parturition. Then we discussed about the male reproductive system, primarily divided into two types: primary sex organs, second accessory organs. Okay. Then we discussed about the spermatogenesis, okay, the layer of the testes. Understanding? Then we discussed about the female reproductive system. Okay. Then we deal with some of the questions and also deal with how to write. Okay. So thank you with having me. Bye. Have a nice day.